Hi everyone, my name is Mia Munoz, and today I'll be presenting my content analysis of magazine advertisements on the magazine People en Español. So I chose the magazine People en Español because it has a strong cultural impact on US Latina readers, and it very much blends celebrity culture with beauty and lifestyle messaging. For this project, I focused on two ads. The Guess featuring Jennifer Lopez campaign and the Maybelline Fit Me foundation ad, although I did include another Guess and Maybelline ad, but that's just to strengthen like my points. So both of these ads represent Latina women, but they do so in different ways. One leans heavily into luxury and glamour, while the other one promotes diversity and inclusion. My goal today is to unpack how these ads shape concepts like Latina identity, beauty norms, gender expectations, and cultural representation. By looking at how these ads use symbolism, marketing strategies, and visual cues, we can see how media teaches us what it means to look and act or like perform as Latina women in today's society. So, People en Español is one of the most widely read magazines among US Latina women, and it blends English and Spanish culture while focusing heavily on beauty, fashion, and celebrity success. So, because of its large Latina audience, advertisers design their content to reflect cultural pride but also to push certain beauty and lifestyle expectations. These ads are very intentional. They use cultural cues like featuring Latina celebrities or showing a range of skin tones to connect with readers emotionally. But at the same time, the magazine promotes a very polished image of success. The themes that show up again and again are glamour, aspiration, self improvement, and femininity. This makes the magazine a perfect place to analyze how gender and ethnic identity are shaped through advertising. So, the first ad that I analyzed was the Guess campaign featuring Jennifer Lopez. This ad represents high glamour from the moment you see it. The lighting, the style, and fashion all point toward luxury and prestige. JLo's long-term cultural influence makes her the ideal figure for this brand. She symbolizes Latina success, competence, and global recognition. By using her image, the ad taps into Latina pride while also setting like a beauty standard that is extremely polished and idolized. Visually, this ad relies heavy on makeup, dramatic poses, and like a flawless look that reinforces hyperfemininity. It suggests that hyperfemininity is tied to high glamour, expensive clothing, and a perfected appearance. This type of representation can make luxury seem like a requirement, not just fashion, but a marker of like identity. So this ad isn't just selling clothes, it's selling a lifestyle connected to beauty, class, and like achievement. So when looking at both ads together, beauty norms become very clear. These images shape our understanding of gender by showing women, and especially Latina women, as needing to be glamorous, youthful, and flawless. These ads reinforce idolized femininity like smooth skin, styled hair, perfect makeup, and confidence that comes from appearance rather than personality or accomplishments. This message is subtle but very powerful. So, femininity basically equals beauty, and beauty equals value. Um, and it frames attractiveness as something women must maintain. Also, almost as a form of social responsibility. Even though society has progressed and become more diverse, the core beauty expectations remain the same. So Latina women are still represented through a lens of glamour and perfection, and these ads contribute to the idea that feminine worth is inseparable from physical appearance. So Going on to the second ad that I use, the Maybelline Fit Me ad appears more diverse and modern because it highlights the wider range of skin tones. So the ad that I used with Jennifer Lopez, it was more kind of hinting towards, the whole luxury and polished side of what women are expected to, you know, um, present themselves as. And Maybelline Fit Me ad is more about diversion and inclusion. This is a major acknowledgement of multicultural audiences, especially in magazine culture around Latina readership. The shade range promotes the idea that beauty should be accessible to everyone regardless of skin tone. This is an improvement compared to older makeup ads that catered mostly to lighter complexions. So as magazines and marketing have evolved, they've gotten way better with including everyone. However, even though the ad celebrates inclusivity, it still reinforces a perfect skin ideal. The models have smooth, photo-ready faces with no texture imperfections. So while it feels more inclusive, it still upholds the same polished beauty standards. This creates an interesting contradiction because the ad embraces racial diversity but still promotes the same message that femininity depends on looking flawless. So diversity becomes a part of the brand image, but the beauty expectations didn't really change. So symbolic interactionism helps explain how people learn social meanings from media. Ads like these teach us what beauty, confidence, success, and femininity are supposed to look like. So every element in this ad is a symbol. The makeup, the lighting, the poses, the luxury setting, even the facial expressions. These symbols create meaning that viewers absorb, especially when exposed repeatedly. So, as for Latina women, these ads teach that femininity is not just natural, but it's performed. It involves certain routines, products, behaviors, and styles. This theory helps show how media doesn't just sell the products, but it shapes identities, influences expectations, and tells women how they should present themselves socially. So Irving Goffman's concept of the presentation of self is also helpful in understanding all of this. Um, According to him, people manage the impressions that they make on others by performing certain identities on the quote unquote front stage. Um, these ads model what the front stage performance should look like. So they basically show a perfected version of femininity, like with the polished skin, the glamorous clothing, the confident posing, like we've been talking about. Um, as if like it's the standard that people should follow in public spaces. Beauty and cosmetics become tools for impression management. They help women create the identity that society expects from them. So the ads are not just influencing buying behavior, they're shaping the entire performance of identity by showing a script of how Latina women are supposed to look and act. But this can also be for any women in general. So consumer culture adds another layer to this. These ads connect beauty to class, suggesting that social status is reflected in in how a woman presents herself. Luxury brands like Guess signal high class and exclusivity. Meanwhile, makeup brands like Maybelline are marketed as essential tools for belonging, confidence, and attractiveness. And it could also be because one's clothing and one's makeup, but it really shows you the difference of how these companies try to promote their products. Identity becomes something you can buy from these companies, from the clothes you wear, like the Guess ad, to the makeup you apply, like the CoverGirl ad. These products act as markers of femininity, class standing, and cultural pride. This can create pressure, especially for women of color, who may feel like they must meet higher standards to be taken seriously or seen as beautiful. The ads celebrate Latina identity while also shaping it through consumption. The combination of pride and pressure reveals how culture and consumerism become intertwined in the media. In conclusion, these ads reveal how media plays a powerful role in shaping Latina cultural identity. They influence expectations around femininity, beauty, class, and cultural belonging. We see a blend of traditional glamour and modern diversity, yet both approaches still revolve around appearance at the end of the day. Even when diversity is promoted, the core message still remains the same, that beauty is essential and femininity is tied to maintaining a flawless look. By analyzing these ads through theories like symbolic interactionism, Kaufman's presentation of self and consumer culture, we can see how media reinforces certain ideals and performances. So this project helped me recognize how subtle and powerful advertising is in shaping identity, especially for women of color. It shows how beauty standards, consumerism, and cultural representation all overlap, influencing how Latina women are seen and how they are encouraged to see themselves. But also, at the end of the day, it really affects all women in general. So that's my presentation. Thank you for listening.